Back to code with Bahuli, and today we're gonna see entity relationship, that is ER diagram concepts, symbols and examples. So let's begin with it. What is an ER diagram? So, an ER diagram is a visual representation of the database. So, database will have three types. Like it will show three types of data. So, first will be the entities. Entities यानी कि user है या फिर तुम्हारा यूजर क्या मतलब कर रहा है, लाइक it is creating notes or it is summarizing, so it is an entity. एट्रीब्यूट्स, ठीक है. सो व्हाट इज एन एट्रीब्यूट? फॉर एग्जांपल यूजर, तो यूजर का आईडी होता है, देन यूजर का यूजर नेम होता है, पासवर्ड होगा यूजर का. सो ऑल दैट थिंग्स विल कम अंडर एट्रीब्यूट्स. नाउ how data is connected. So relationships may, if we take an example, for example, the user is creating notes, right? Creating is becoming the relationship. Okay, so that comes under relationship. So this will be used during database design phase. So before initializing any database, we usually make an ER diagram to you know to have a clear vision of what we are going to do further. So let's move ahead. Why ER diagrams are important? So they are easy to understand, system structure, helps avoid data redundancies, make database design clear and organized, acts as a blueprint before coding. So these points you can write in your exam if it is asked. Okay. So what are the components? Entities, as I said, attributes, relationship, cardinality. Cardinality three types के होते हैं, one to many and many to many. वो हम लोग देखेंगे आगे जाके. Keys यानी कि एक primary key होगी, तो it would be different for every entity. Okay. For example, user ID, then notes ka ID, then you will have subscription ID. So that is a primary key of all the entities. Okay, all the entities and attributes. So that is a key. So first let us know about the entity. Okay, so entity represents a real world object. For example, a person, as I said, a user, or a place, object, or event. Example, student, employee, product. So strong entity are usually shown in a single rectangle like this, and weak entities, like इस rectangle के अंदर एक और rectangle होगा, that would be a weak entity. Okay. Next is the attribute. Attributes, when you will be showing an ER diagram, it would be represented by an oval. Okay, attributes describe properties of an entity. This is an important point. Yeah. So there are types of attributes. So simple attribute is a single oval. Okay. It will have name, age, then a composite attribute, oval connected to sub-ovals, name, first name, last name. Derived attribute dashed ovals, age derived from DOB, and multi-valued attribute double oval, that would be phone numbers. Okay, so key attributes is an underline oval. So unique identifies as entity, also called as primary key. As I said, it would be different for every attribute and entity. That is a student ID, employee ID. So the key attribute is always underlined. This is an important point while drawing an ER diagram. You need to underline the primary key. Okay. Next is the relationship. It shows how entities are connected. Example, student enrolls in a course. Employee works for a company. So inside this diamond, enroll would be there and works for. So work will be written in this diamond shape. Okay. Relationship name is written inside the diamond. Okay. So let's move ahead. Degree of relationships. So there are three types: unary, binary, and ternary. So unary is entity related to itself. So employee manages employee, ठीक है? तो you employee is making a database for himself or herself, so it becomes a unary. So the degree is unary. Okay. Then is binary, two entities, student and course. Two entities we can see here, so it directly becomes binary. Three entities, doctor prescribes medicines to patient. So three entities are there: doctor, medicine and patient. Okay. Next, as I said, we will be learning about cardinality. So cardinality shows how many entities participate in a relationship. Okay, so one to one, person to passport. This is an example, okay, of one to one. Then one to many. So there is one teacher in a classroom and there are many students, right? So this is like teachers also can be many, but we are just taking an ideal example of a classroom. So there is always a one teacher and many students. So that is an example of one to many. Then many to many is student and course. So there are always many students who are accessing one course, or many students are accessing many courses at the same time. Okay, so that is an example of many to many. So cardinality is written near relationship lines. Okay. So thank you so much. I hope the ER diagram concepts are clear for you all. And in the next video, we'll be practically drawing ER diagrams in draw.io. So मिलते हैं next video में, तब तक के लिए goodbye.